Touch is one of the most powerful tools for sexual pleasure. But did you know that different types of touch can completely transform your intimate experience? From a gentle caress to firmer pressure, each gesture can awaken new sensations and increase the connection with your partner. Today, we're going to explore how small variations in touch, whether in intensity, rhythm, or even location, can make an incredible difference to a couple's pleasure and intimacy. Discover how simple adjustments to the way you touch can create unforgettable moments and reveal sides of your relationship that you may not have explored yet. Get ready to better understand what really arouses your partner's desire and how to take your experiences to a new level of satisfaction. Without further ado, let's get started. The power of gentle touch. How to create connection and intimacy. Gentle, affectionate touch is a powerful form of nonverbal communication. It goes beyond words and language, allowing people to connect on a deep emotional level. Gentle caresses, such as a stroke on the back or a light touch on the face, create an atmosphere of security and intimacy. It's interesting to note how a simple touch can convey love and affection, strengthening bonds and creating an environment conducive to relaxation. When it comes to establishing an emotional connection, gentle touch is often the first step. It can be used in a variety of situations, from an affectionate greeting to moments of comfort when a partner needs support. The impact of this kind of touch should not be underestimated. It can be an effective remedy against anxiety and stress, helping to create a space where both feel comfortable opening up and sharing their feelings. In addition, affectionate touch can act as an invitation to vulnerability. By allowing themselves to touch and be touched in a gentle way, partners are, in a way, telling each other that they are ready to connect on a deeper level. This is particularly important in relationships where emotional intimacy is a priority. Through gentle touch, emotional barriers can begin to dissolve, allowing love and understanding to grow. This kind of touch is also beneficial for mental and emotional health. Studies show that physical touch can release hormones such as oxytocin, which is associated with feelings of happiness and pleasure. So taking the time to explore gentle touch in a relationship is not just a way of expressing love. It's also an investment in the emotional health of both of you. Finally, gentle and affectionate touch is a practice that can and should be improved over time. As partners become more attuned to each other's preferences, they can discover new ways of expressing affection and affection, making the experience even richer and more rewarding. Intensify pleasure with pressure touch. Pressure touch is a technique that can intensify the sensory experience and increase arousal. Applying pressure to specific areas of the body, such as the neck and back, can create a sensation of pleasure that goes beyond superficial touch. Adequate pressure can help release built-up tension, promoting a state of deep relaxation that is ideal for moments of intimacy. When exploring pressure touch, it is important for partners to communicate about what is pleasurable and what is not. Each person has their own sensations and limits, and respecting this is fundamental to creating a safe and welcoming environment. Open communication about preferences can turn pressure touch into an even more pleasurable experience, making both feel valued and heard. There are several ways to apply pressure touch, from deeper massages to firmer caresses. The important thing is to find a balance that works for both of you. Sometimes, light pressure may be all that's needed to stimulate a sensitive spot, while in other situations, more intense pressure may be preferable. The essential thing is that both of you are willing to experiment. What's more, pressure touch isn't limited to erogenous areas. It can be applied to different parts of the body to create a variety of sensations. For example, pressure on the palms of the hands or feet can generate a relaxing and pleasurable response, which can be a great way to prepare the body and mind for moments of greater intimacy. Finally, pressure touch can be an excellent way to introduce new dynamics into the relationship. As partners become more comfortable with each other, exploring different touch techniques can not only increase arousal, but also strengthen the emotional connection between them. Erogenous zone. Touch. The path to maximum pleasure. Focusing on erogenous zones is one of the most effective ways to maximize pleasure during moments of intimacy. These areas, which include the ears, neck, inner thighs, and breasts, are especially sensitive and, when stimulated, can lead to intense and gratifying sensations. It's fascinating how the human body is designed to respond to touch in strategic places, creating a direct link between physical stimulation and emotional pleasure. Exploring erogenous zones should be done carefully and attentively. Each person has their own preferences and limits, and it is essential that partners communicate about what is pleasurable and what is not. Curiosity and a willingness to experiment can open doors to new discoveries, making the experience even more exciting and satisfying. In addition, touching erogenous zones can be used to create an atmosphere of anticipation and desire. By focusing on these sensitive areas, partners can build sexual tension that can be extremely pleasurable. This approach not only maximizes physical pleasure, but also strengthens the emotional connection as partners become more attuned to each other's responses. It's important to remember that pleasure shouldn't be rushed. Careful, slow exploration of the erogenous zones allows partners to enjoy every moment, creating a sense of deep intimacy. This emotional connection is fundamental to a satisfying and lasting sexual experience, as it establishes a space of trust and vulnerability. Finally, touching erogenous zones doesn't have to be limited to a traditional approach. Partners can explore different techniques and intensities, discovering what works best for them. This flexibility in exploration can turn moments of intimacy into unforgettable experiences, full of pleasure and emotional connection. Surprise yourself with new sensations. Touch with different textures. The use of different textures in touch is a way of increasing sensitivity and sexual response. Varied textures such as feathers, soft fabrics, or even rougher materials can provoke different reactions in the body, stimulating sensitive areas in unexpected ways. This practice not only diversifies the sensory experience, but can also bring a playful element to intimacy. When a partner uses varied textures, they are actually expanding the repertoire of sensations that the other can experience. For example, a soft touch with a feather can create a tingling sensation that is completely different from a firmer touch with a rough fabric. This diversity can lead to greater arousal as the body becomes more receptive to new sensations. In addition, introducing different textures can help break up the monotony in long-term relationships. Sometimes routine can cause intimate experiences to become predictable. By bringing new textures into play, partners can rediscover the pleasure of exploring each other, creating more intense and memorable moments. Exploring textures can also be an opportunity for partners to learn more about each other's preferences. Each person has their own sensitivities and tastes, and discovering what pleases each other can become a fun and intimate journey. This exchange of experiences can strengthen the emotional bond, making the relationship richer and more rewarding. Finally, touch with a variety of textures is an invitation to creativity. Partners can experiment with different materials and techniques, finding unique ways to connect. This innovative approach not only enriches sex life, but also encourages open and honest communication about desires and preferences. The rhythm game: how alternating touches can increase pleasure. Varying the rhythm of touch is a powerful strategy for increasing anticipation and intensifying arousal between partners. This approach involves changing the speed and intensity of touch, which can lead to surprising and pleasurable sensations. By playing with rhythm, partners can explore a range of emotions, from soothing softness to electrifying urgency. When a partner starts to play slowly and gently, it creates a foundation of intimacy that can be very pleasurable. This initial calm allows both of you to relax and prepare for the experience. Then, gradually increasing the speed or pressure can generate growing anticipation, causing the body to react intensely. This roller coaster of rhythms and sensations keeps both of your attention, turning the simple act of touching into an adventure full of discoveries. In addition, the variation in rhythm can be used to create a game of seduction. For example, touching certain areas gently and then suddenly intensifying the pressure can surprise your partner and get their adrenaline pumping. This alternation between moments of calm and intensity not only maintains interest, but can also lead to a more exciting climax. Anticipation becomes part of the pleasure, as each change of pace reveals new possibilities. It's important to remember that communication remains essential in this process. Partners should be open to sharing their preferences and limits, adjusting the pace according to each other's reactions. This exchange not only enriches the experience, but also strengthens the emotional connection, allowing both to feel safe and valued. Finally, varying the rhythm of touch can be a tool for personal exploration. Each partner can discover different forms of pleasure by experimenting with different speeds and intensities. This exploration not only diversifies the sexual experience, but also promotes a greater understanding of one's own body and the body of one's partner, creating a space for mutual learning and discovery. Surprise. Touch. Awaken the senses and rekindle passion. Surprise touch is an engaging technique that aims to break expectations during intimate moments. Imagine a scenario in which the atmosphere is already charged with tension and desire, and suddenly an unexpected gesture appears. This sudden introduction not only sharpens the senses, but also triggers a surge of adrenaline that can intensify the experience of pleasure. This approach is especially effective because it challenges predictability, an element that, although comfortable, can become monotonous over time. The essence of surprise touching lies in its ability to arouse curiosity and emotion. When one partner touches the other in an unexpected way, whether in the form of a light touch on the back or a gentle caress along the arm, the body reacts intensely. This reaction is not only emotional, but also physical. The skin crawls and the senses become even more acute. It's as if each touch becomes a new discovery, a new opportunity for connection, rather than a simple gesture of affection or desire. What's more, surprise touching can be an excellent way of stimulating non-verbal communication between partners. When an unexpected touch happens, it often results in facial expressions, laughter, or even sighs. These moments of spontaneity create a language of their own that enriches the shared experience. This implicit communication can strengthen intimacy, as both partners feel more connected and in tune with each other. Another advantage of surprise touch is the possibility of exploring different parts of the body that would not normally receive attention. By introducing an unexpected touch to less explored areas, such as the inside of the arms or the back of the knee, partners can discover new pleasure zones. This not only diversifies the experience, but also encourages exploration of each other's bodies, promoting a greater understanding of mutual preferences and tastes. Surprise touching can also be used to break the routine in long-standing relationships. Sometimes familiarity can lead to complacency, and introducing an unexpected element can reignite passion. An unexpected gesture, such as a gentle touch while watching a movie or a light caress while preparing dinner, can transform an ordinary moment into an intimate and special experience. This simplicity is often what makes each touch more meaningful, reinforcing the idea that emotional connection is fundamental to physical intimacy. Surprise touch, when used sensitively and creatively, can become a powerful tool for intensifying the passion and connection between partners. It not only enriches the sexual experience, but also strengthens the emotional bonds and communication between those involved, providing an avenue for mutual discovery and the exploration of pleasure. By allowing spontaneity to come into play, the touch of surprise can turn every encounter into a new adventure, full of excitement and pleasure. Perfect harmony. How synchronized touch increases intimacy. Synchronized touch is a practice that involves the coordination of movements between partners, creating a real dance of affection and intimacy. When the two connect in a harmonious touch, the feeling of unity intensifies, leading to a deeper and more meaningful experience. This synchrony not only strengthens the emotional connection, but also increases the perception of pleasure, as each movement complements each other. The key to effective synchronized touch is communication. It is essential for partners to be attentive to each other's reactions, observing how each gesture is received. This mutual attention allows both to adjust their touches, creating a natural flow that adapts to each other's needs and desires. When one partner initiates a movement, the other can respond intuitively, developing an intimate choreography that becomes an expression of love and desire. In addition, synchronized touch can be enhanced by visual elements. Looking into your partner's eyes while touching can intensify the connection, creating an atmosphere of complicity. This exchange of glances, combined with coordinated touches, results in an experience that transcends the physical, bringing partners to a state of surrender and union. The practice of synchronized touch can also be an opportunity to explore creativity. Partners can experiment with different types of touch, changing the pressure and place of contact, while still maintaining harmony. This variety within synchrony can surprise and delight, making each moment unique and special. Finally, this technique can serve as a form of joint meditation. By focusing on each other's touch and breathing, partners can enter a state of deep relaxation, reducing stress and increasing intimacy. Synchronized touch, therefore, is not just a technique, but a way of connecting on a deeper level, creating memories and experiences that last. Now that you know the different types of touch and how they can intensify your partner's pleasure, how about putting them into practice? The key is communication. Talk about what you like and experience new sensations together. Each touch can strengthen the bond and bring more intimacy to the relationship. So, which touch will you try first? Share it in the comments and let us know how the experience went. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips on how to improve your relationships and increase pleasure. See you in our next video.